Hey, what is up, guys? We are going live tonight, and it's a pretty exciting night for me. Looks like we're 2 subscribers away from hitting 50K on the channel tonight, so big milestone for Hooked Up Wisconsin here. And I got a bunch of news to share tonight. We're gonna chat, do some Q&A, kind of whatever you guys want to talk about. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of party a little bit. And everyone, let me know how you're doing. It's been a while since I've been live. I used to do lives every week, but man, it's just been a crazy summer, so I haven't done them for a few months here. But definitely gonna plan on doing more here coming up, especially into the ice season this year. So I'll be getting back on track with lives. But thanks for joining, guys. And I'm kind of watching my clicker right now, and we're at 49,998 subscribers right now on the YouTube channel. So only 2 to go. And if you haven't subbed yet, make sure you sub to Hooked Up Wisconsin, because I've got a lot of content planned, a lot of fun things coming for the channel. But tonight I just want to talk fishing and chat with you guys and do some Q&A. Also, let me know where you're coming from and where you're tuning in from. And also, let me know what night of the week works best for you to join lives, because I'm trying to plan what night I'm going to be doing lives weekly in the next year, and I'd like to get some feedback on that. Just kind of let me know what works for you, and then I can kind of compile the data and pick a night that hopefully works for everybody. But yeah, thanks. It's super exciting. It's crazy that this is that we're hitting this milestone already. But oh wow, water's 80 degrees in Illinois, and the crappies have the lockjaw. Yeah, I bet, dude. That's hot water for any fish, any freshwater fish. So for you guys on YouTube, I'm also taking comments on Instagram right now, and vice versa. I'm kind of going live on both right now. Have I ever fished the St. Lawrence River in Quebec? No. 50-inch muskie over there on the St. Lawrence. That's pretty sick. That's a big fish. I've heard it's a great fishing over there. And obviously it's a big waterway that I'm sure has tons of species in it, and probably trophies too of all kinds. But I'd like to get there someday. Fishing's been pretty good around here, actually. It's been, like, a lot of people say the dog days of August are tough fishing, but man, it's been really good up here. So yeah, thanks. Trying to do more lives. Like I said, this year going to be doing hopefully weeklies again. Lake Michigan's slow. Yeah, I heard the water's like really warm on most of the Lake Michigan right now. Like the surface temps are insanely warm, so I'm sure that doesn't help. You need a nice west wind to blow that warm water out of there, I'm guessing. Get some of that cold upwelling coming in, get the salmon moving in. Yeah, plus it's windy. That's no fun either. Yeah, I hate fishing in the wind. Like, fishing might not be as good in calm weather, but like, it's just so much more comfortable. Like, I'll take a few less fish if I don't have to beat my head against the wall against 4 to 6 foot waves. I'll take a calm day that's tougher fishing and enjoy it a little bit. So yeah, again, let me know what night of the week works best for you guys to do lives, and we'll try and get you in there. So let's see. I'm gonna refresh here and see if we got any activity on the subs. We're 2 short of 50K. Still need 2. So if you guys haven't subbed to Hooked Up Wisconsin, you could be number 50,000 on the channel tonight. We got 2 to go. Cold beer makes it better. Yeah, I don't know. If you're at all susceptible to motion sickness, probably not. but yeah, it makes it a little bit more tolerable to have a few brews out there in tough weather. Hey, New Jersey, cool. New Jersey, that's cool. I've never fished that far north on the East Coast. I've only fished pretty much Florida is about it over there, but some cool areas down there. Do I go to the St. Paul ice fishing shows? Yes, I will be there this year, repping the Predator tip up. You can see it behind me here. That's our design. My buddy and I invented that, so we'll be showing people, kind of how to use that again at the St. Paul Ice Show for sure. And yeah, it was cool meeting you there too. Yeah, I love meeting everybody at the ice show. Ice show is a great time. And I unfortunately missed the Clam Pro Day this year where all the pros get together and see all the new gear. I was just up in Canada and we were having a great fishing trip. So it wasn't like, it was a big bummer, but I do enjoy kind of seeing the new products and seeing everybody there too. But I will definitely be at the ice show for sure. Yeah, come on down. Come on down. And stop talking about ice. I talk about ice all year. I don't care. I love ice fishing. It's, I'm a northern Wisconsin guy. We get 7-8 months of ice up here sometimes. So, Eastern Iowa, cool. Thanks for tuning in from Iowa. Can we get some carp on the channel? I've got a couple, but not a lot. I don't target them a whole ton. So I don't, they're around, but they're tough to target up here. There's not a ton of numbers, but they are a blast. I love catching them. Oh boy, should we ban forward-facing sonar? No, absolutely not. I don't think we should ban it for the general public. I think people having tournaments can decide what they want to do as a group. And I think there's way too much drama surrounding forward-facing sonar right now. It's just another tool. It's just another piece of equipment. Is it good? Yes. Is it legal? Yes. Should anyone have an opinion on other people using it or not using it? In my opinion, no. I think it's up to the user if they want to use it or not, or up to the organization or, whatever tournament organization is planning the tournament to decide whether they're going to allow it or not. And until the public speaks out and says, we want to ban it or the DNR bans it, then it's legal. And if you want to use it or I want to use it, it really doesn't matter or shouldn't matter to anybody else. That's my opinion. That simple. And I do use it. It is good. In the metro Minnesota, we're cold for half the year. Yeah, no, that's very true. It's about a half the year is ice season. And live scope does work great for suspended crappies. It works great for walleyes. I mean, you name it. It's awesome. It just helps you learn. It's just such an efficiency tool. I mean, I was using live scope last week in Canada, and the fish were on rock humps in like 30 to 35 feet of water, and I just never had to guess whether the fish were on the hump I was fishing or not. I would just pull up, scan around, see fish, drop on them, catch them. And when you're on a trip like that, you want to make the most of it. You want to catch as many fish as possible. You don't have a ton of time to learn the lake, and it's a great tool for learning the lake as fast as possible. Like, where those fish are at. You can get your kids on a bunch of them. You can catch a bunch of fish in a short amount of time. And hey, let's catch some more fish, That's what I think. You get a lot of white crappies up here? No, we don't get a lot of white crappies. In fact, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've actually caught a white crappie yet. I think that's one of the very few species still on my list in Wisconsin that I haven't caught, because we just don't have them up here. There's some in the Mississippi. There's a few in Cedar Lake, and that's about it. And those are both, a couple hours away from me. So I don't see a lot of white crappies. No. Forward facing is fun. Now I can see all the fish that won't bite. It's so true. Like, before forward facing sonar, you honestly didn't know how many fish you were around that would not bite. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, they are way harder to catch than I realized until I started seeing them. You probably catch 15 to 20% more with live scope. Yeah, I would say, like I say, it just narrows it down. Like, you always know you're around fish, so you're not fishing unproductive water really at all, or you don't have to be. And I still fish the same way a lot of times. I'm not just sight fishing fish on live scope all the time. I use it to find structure. I use it to just see if fish are around, and then I'll go through an area and just fish like I normally would. But at least I know I'm around fish. I'm not always watching them bite every bait, but it just helps narrow down that unproductive water. We got a northern Minnesota, an eastern Wisconsin. Cool. Crave custom rods from old Wisco. That's awesome. Live scope's too expensive. Yeah, but it's going to be getting less expensive. I'm pretty sure the cost is going to go down eventually, just like all other electronics eventually go down. But yeah, it's an investment. And I mean, I fish 3 times a week all year round. So for me, the investment makes sense because I'm on the water all the time, for guides who are out there every day, for tournament anglers, for a weekend guy, if he's got the extra cash, sure. But is he going to be able to use it enough to really put the time in to learn how to use it and make the most out of it? No, because it really does take time on the water with it to learn how to use it for sure. Who is more annoying to Wisconsin people? The FIBs with live scope or min ducks with planer boards? I don't know. I like to see people fishing, and I'm not one of those guys who gets annoyed very easily. The people who annoy me are the ones who just have no etiquette. And there's a guy the other day, I was fishing a weed line, and I was in a half a mile stretch of a bay. Like, it was a half mile across. And this guy comes out of the landing, and he comes so close to me that I probably could have casted way past him as he zipped by me. I mean, he was like 20 feet from me in full bore, and he waves like I'm supposed to be thankful that he's there. It's just bizarre to me. It's stuff like that. It's like, you just don't get it. Canada looked great. Where do you fish? We're off the northwest side of Lake of the Woods. It's a pretty cool lake, and it's attached to Lake of the Woods. I'm not going to name it because I don't like to name lakes, but it is northwest of sort of that Grassy Narrows area. I guess it's west of Grassy Narrows. Yeah, put it on the Bass Pro card. That's right. It's the way to go. Get those points. Yeah, an FIB drive-by. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, what let me know, guys, what's been up with you guys? What have you been catching lately? What's the bite been like? Oh, I should check and see if we hit 50 here. I got to refresh my page. Oh, we're at 49,999 subs on YouTube. So one more and we're going to hit 50K here. I'm going to be doing a giveaway too. So if you guys on YouTube right now are not on Instagram or don't follow me there, that's where I always do my giveaways, just because it's a lot easier to do on Insta with the messaging and everything. So within the next couple weeks here, I'm going to be doing probably the biggest giveaway that I've ever done, and just kind of a 50K giveaway. So follow me on Instagram at Hooked Up Wisconsin if you aren't already, because that's going to be coming up here. Yeah, and then he yells at you for telling him for cutting him off. That's about it too. Yeah, that's classic, right? The guide comes in, has clients, pulls in right on his spot, and then starts casting. Yeah, I've seen it. Good guides won't do that though. 12-pound coho, nice. That is a big coho. We don't get them that big in Lake Superior, but they taste better though. There's nothing better than a Lake Superior coho, for sure. There was a kid in his boat, yeah, showing the kid the ropes, right? Why does the DNR hate you in Russ County? I don't know. Sometimes it just seems like certain people have bad luck. So yeah, like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing more of these lives, lots more, hopefully weekly, and I'm looking for the right night to do them. So let me know what night works best for you guys. Is it like Monday nights like this? I used to do them on Thursday nights. Is a weekend night better? Let me know. Nice, caught a smallmouth from under him. That's good. That makes you feel better a little bit. Do I find Canadian lakes noticeably more productive than U.S. lakes? I mean, there's definitely a better fishery for certain species in Canada. I mean, we put 427 fish in my boat in 5 days in Canada, and I'm talking game fish like walleyes, pike, smallies, and you just can't do that around here. I mean, we put 100 fish in the boat by noon one day, and that's just not possible around here for most places. The numbers are just staggering compared to here in a lot of places up there. And the size structure is variable, but overall, there's just more fish and less people in Canada. And that's a pretty good recipe for some good fishing, I would say. Coho have been scarce in northern Lake Superior. Interesting. Yeah, they were big last year. I know that, but I haven't heard of anybody pounding the cohos on the North Shore at all. They're picking a few off here and there, but I haven't seen any big catches of them. Even in the spring, there was not a lot of limits of cohos, but the kings are doing better, which is nice to see up there. And the lake trout, honestly, the last couple of years have been doing really, really well. And all of Lake Superior, they've recovered big time from the die off and the whole lamprey ordeal, and they've come back like crazy. I mean, I haven't been on Lake Superior and not caught Lakers in a long time, so that's awesome to see. And hopefully, we'll be seeing some big fish. It takes 50 years to grow a big lake trout, and so we had that big lamprey invasion that killed a lot of fish that would have been big by now. That would have been the giants, and we're just starting to get to the point where those fish, after the lampreys got taken out, are going to be getting big again. So I expect there'll be a big boom of big lake trout in the next 10 years or so, which is awesome. You're Canadian, would have thought the opposite. That's funny. I mean, yeah, offshore, like in the ocean, our ocean fishing is incredible. I mean, we do have some incredible offshore and inshore saltwater fishing for sure. But when I'm talking inland like inland lakes, it's not there. Cowboy Jack on YouTube says last week was a tough bite. Been working on deer stands and ice fishing gear maintenance. Yep. Nice. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that too. We got our food plots planted. Been watching the trail cams. Been baiting bears here. So we got a bear coming in. He was in tonight at about 7:00. So my son's got a bear tag, and we'll be trying to track him down here in a couple weeks. Any of you other guys hunt? Hunting is definitely my second passion for sure after fishing. Big waterfowl hunter, deer hunter. I pretty much hunt everything a little bit, but just came back from Alaska. Nice. Hit the reds perfectly. Brought home a pile of fish. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to get back up there. Man, that would be cool. They put 900,000 salmon in Lake Ontario. That's a pretty good stocking program. And Lake Superior does not stock. Wisconsin and Minnesota don't stock any salmon at all in Lake Superior. It's all natural reproduction. So it's pretty amazing we can catch any salmon in Lake Superior, honestly. Kings have moved out from the Keweenaw area. Lakers are still around. Okay. I've never fished Keweenaw for salmon. I've done pretty well out of Saxon area for Lakers, but I haven't done much for salmon around the point there. What's better, Lake of the Woods or Devil's Lake? Well, since I've never been on Devil's Lake and don't have any personal experience with it, did I lose you guys? Let's see here. There, I'm back. Lake of the Woods or Devil's Lake, I would say, what the heck's going on here? There. My stupid watch was opening my camera. I would say, Lake of the Woods probably, just because of the variety you get there. You've got so many more species to choose from on Lake of the Woods, so that's what I would say. You have better luck winning the lottery than drawing a bear permit in Minnesota. Well, that used to be the way it was in Wisconsin too, but they've really upped the tags here in Wisconsin. So now we're getting one like every 2 years to 3 years, which it used to be more like 8 or 9. So it's kind of nice. We needed to kill some bears around here because there was a lot. I'm trying to remember what zone we're in for bear. I think it's man, I can't remember the letter off the top of my head. I think it might be C. It's in the Washburn County, Burnett County area. Love hunting and everything about it. It's a year-round thing. Only the shooting part is limited. True. Yeah, scouting can be a year-round endeavor for sure. Scouting, planning food plots, all that stuff. And yeah, we definitely love hunting too. Our seasons start here in a couple weeks. So goose season, early season goose starts in September. We got whitetail season starts the second week of September. What else? We got dove season opens, teal season opens in September, bear season. Actually, I just got a notification on my phone that the bear's at the bait right now. We got a camera, a cell cam on it, and he's been hitting it pretty steady. He just came in again right now, it looks like. Let's see here. Do we hit 50K yet? We got to be there. Let's see. Yep, 50K right there. I'm going to take a little screenshot of that because that is huge. That's a huge number, guys. I appreciate it. We just hit 50K on Hooked Up Wisconsin YouTube channel for the first time ever. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate all of you. And I've got some big stuff coming. Big stuff coming in the next year. I've got a huge announcement this spring, hopefully, and I'm going to be bringing it like I've never brought it, hopefully, to the channel this year. And it's going to be a grind here for a year, but I'm really hoping next year that it's going to open up a lot. So, yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's super cool. Love sharing it with all of you. And like I said, we're going to be doing a 50K giveaway on Instagram. So if you don't follow me there yet, follow me at Hooked Up Wisconsin on Instagram and watch for the giveaway because I'm going to be giving some pretty cool stuff away here in the next couple weeks. So make sure you stick around and check that out because it won't be something you want to miss. I'm going to make it a good one. So, and let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. I really appreciate it when guys leave comments on either my videos or on Instagram or wherever and ask questions because questions are the best way to get ideas for videos. So when I see a question asked over and over, I try and make a video on that topic. And so those have been some of my best videos. So anytime you guys want to ask questions, you can message me on Insta. You can leave a comment on the video, whatever. And I love to chat. I love to talk fishing. So anytime you guys want to talk on Messenger or whatever, feel free because that's how I get ideas for videos and stuff. So definitely appreciate the questions. Thanks, guys. I was watching your braid rigging video today, rigging up my new ultralight. Awesome. Yeah, and that's actually one of the videos I'm talking about. That was a question I got all the time, was like, what braid do you use? What leader do you use? You know, what knot do you use? And so I was just like, well, that's a perfect opportunity for a video. So I did that braid, the ultimate braid video, and made it in depth, made it nice and long, lots of details, and that's one of my best videos on YouTube right now. So that's a perfect example right there. Heading to duck camp tomorrow to tidy up. Nice. So what kind of habitat work do you do there? Do you do like some flooded crops, or do you do like some flooded woods, or what exactly are you doing at duck camp to make it more attractive to ducks? I've done a little bit of duck work, but not a lot. We're kind of limited in a lot of areas to what we can really manipulate for ducks up here, but I've done a little bit of it, and it does work. What do we plant in our food plots, and what seems to work best? Well, this year we did a mix of annual clover, perennial clover. So the annual comes up nice and thick in the first year, but it doesn't come back the second year. The perennial will come back next spring right away. So that's why we mix it up a little bit. You get nice green stuff with the annual this year, and then next year you don't have to replant if you want to just have clover in that plot. And deer just love clover, so clover works everywhere. And then we're doing honey hole, which is like a mix of brassicas, turnips, and some Ryan oats, I think, just for that kind of cold weather mix that they like once it freezes. So yeah, that's kind of what our plan is this year. We'll see how it works. We got one shooter and a couple of 2.5-year-old bucks on the cameras now, and we always seem to get a lot of big bucks in the rut. They don't tend to live on our property, but during the rut they come out of the woodwork. Usually the third week of October, like that week before Halloween, all of a sudden they just come out of nowhere, and we start getting them on the cameras. Shallow wetlands, all natural food. Okay, so you're just doing some flooding then. Cool. Yeah, I love waterfowl hunting. Waterfowl hunting is my favorite hunting for sure, at the top when it comes to hunting for me. If I had to pick one thing, it'd be duck and goose hunting for sure. But I do love to bow hunt whitetails. Do I spear sturgeon? I have not speared sturgeon. However, I am planning on filming sturgeon season catch and cook, probably, if I can get a keeper. Otherwise, it's just going to be a sturgeon fishing video during the September open season. There's a lake up here by me that has a ton of big sturgeon in it, and it's only open for a month. So we're going to be targeting them, and I will be filming that, hopefully, and putting it on YouTube. So hopefully we'll get, a 60+ inch sturgeon and hook and line, and that's going to be super fun. I'm stoked to do that one, because I've never really targeted them like that. I've caught them, fishing other species and stuff, but I've never really just gone after big sturgeon. So that'll be pretty fun. Any thoughts on fishing videos using crawler harness with snap weights or bottom bouncers? Yeah, actually, that's one I've been thinking about doing. It's got to be the right conditions, and we're pretty much there right now. So if I can get on a pattern around here for walleyes on the bottom bouncer deal, I'm going to try and do a video on that, actually. Lots of goose hunters in central Saskatchewan. Yes, there is. It's one of the best places to be a goose hunter, too, if I'm not mistaken. One of the biggest staging populations of geese on the continent in Saskatchewan. Yeah, dude, Wayne, my buddy, invited me to hit the Rainy for sturgeon this October, actually. So I may end up going on that trip, too. We'll see. We will see. Bottom bouncers are my favorite. As for sturgeon, what are you planning on using? I'm going to be definitely using crawlers. It seems like everybody who has good luck with them uses a giant gob of crawlers on a circle hook. And that's probably what I'm going to use. That's what I've caught them on before. So that's kind of my plan. I may try throwing in some leeches and some other stuff too, but I don't think it really matters. They just like a big old glob of food, and yeah, it's sit and wait kind of fishing. It's not active fishing per se. However, once you hook one of those things, it's pretty wild because they'll actually jump straight out of the water and clear the water by 2 or 3 feet when you hook them sometimes. And they're big. I mean, these sturgeon they're not little sturgeon. I mean, we're talking 60, 70 plus inch sturgeon in this lake. So it's a long wait sometimes, but it's well worth it when you hook a fish. And there's potential in this particular place to hook, 15 to 20 sturgeon in a day. It's not like you're not getting any action. It can be pretty good. So thanks there, Caleb. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the support, guys. And any of you guys who are watching my YouTube videos, if you decide to buy any of the stuff that I talk about that I leave in the description, I really appreciate that too, because that's a good source of income for my channel. Helps me it helps me be able to have more time to make more videos, because when I put those links in there, they're affiliate links, and I get commission for those. If you click on those and go to Amazon, anything you guys purchase at Amazon in the next 24 hours, I can get commission for. So that's super helpful. If you guys, even if you just click the link, you don't even have to buy anything that is in my list. Anything you purchase after you click that link from Amazon, I get a commission for, and that helps a ton. So I appreciate that if you guys are doing that. That's awesome. Ever tried trolling with electric with stick baits over 4 to 10 foot reefs? In the spring, yeah. In the spring, I've done that, and up until about mid-June, it works really well. So definitely, this time of year, the fish are too deep, so it's pretty tough to do that now. But again, in the fall, it'll work again. Got some buddies that do it quite a bit actually. After dark, they troll super shallow reefs at night with stick baits on boards, and they do pretty well. You had one jump on your boat. A big sturgeon jumped on your boat. That's pretty insane. That'd be a wild day. I've seen tarpon do that and stuff. I've never seen a sturgeon do that. Jumbo, I'd appreciate that. That would be sweet. Yeah, if you just click on a link in any one of my videos, go shopping on Amazon, that I get a little commission for that. So that's super cool. So you guys, any of you guys just joining, we just hit 50,000 subs on the Hooked Up Wisconsin YouTube channel tonight. Huge milestone, halfway to 100K, and that's it still seems out of reach, but almost doesn't now. I mean, I never thought I'd hit 50K. I never thought so. And here we are. So that's, it's possible. I could get a silver play button, and in the near future, if things keep going the way they're going, 100K is not out of reach, and that would be absolutely crazy. But I'm just thankful to get 50 and have that many people interested in what I'm doing. I just never thought that was possible. So thank you guys for joining the live, and thanks for subbing too. Hey, my bro Chad is on. How you doing, man? Took Chad fishing last fall, and he caught a bunch of different species up here in northern Wisconsin that he'd never caught before, and that was super cool. Trolling for fall salmon on Chequamegon Bay. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I did give it a shot last year a little bit, and I caught a couple, but it wasn't really enough to get the content I wanted. So they're hard to catch. Those cohos get lockjaw in the fall, and when they're staging to go up the rivers, like, you got to hit it just right to hit them trolling. And I never quite got it last year, but I'm hoping to do it this year because they're as big as they get in the fall. So when they're staging to run up the rivers, those are the biggest cohos you're going to see. But man, it's all timing. Like, you got to hit it on the right, like hour, not even the right day. You got to be there like right when they're coming in, because they don't just hang around, they go up the river. And if you're not in their way on their way in, you're going to miss them. And then they're in the river and you won't see them again, because they're going to spawn and they're going to die. So you got to put your time in if you want to really get on the salmon, it seems like, on Lake Superior. But man, if you do, they're big and they're pretty fun to catch. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. As someone out of my element fishing northern waters, your vids helped me get back in the game. Still haven't caught a walleye, but it's coming. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. That's like one of the best things I can hear, honestly. That's what I really love doing on YouTube, is like just finding little bits of information that people can use to catch fish and learn how to catch fish in this area and catch more fish, catch them different ways. I just love comments like that, because that's exactly what I'm doing this for. I'm just trying to help people catch fish and have fun doing it. And, I'm not trying to be any kind of celebrity. I'm not trying to be the best angler, and I'm not the best angler. I'm not a professional. I have been doing this a long time, and I fish, 2 to 3 times a week. And I've been doing that for 20 some years. And so I have learned a few things, and I try and pass that knowledge on to give people a head start and learn as fast as they can what I know. And that's all I'm trying to do. So I appreciate that, because that's affirmation that what I'm doing is working. So love your content. Have you been to Koshkonong? No, I have not. I've heard of it, but I've not been there. It's not too close to me, I don't think. My 3 favorite lakes for good size walleye in Wisconsin. I'm pretty careful about naming lakes. I don't like to do that. I like to show people how to catch fish, but not necessarily where to catch fish. Like, I'll name Lake Superior, the Mississippi, Rainy River, Lake of the Woods, like the big common fisheries, but all these lakes around here are pretty small, and I don't like burning spots. So I'll tell you the 3 areas that I fish quite a bit, and that would be like west of Spooner, for 30 miles west, and then the Hayward area I fish quite a bit, and then actually around the surrounding area right around Spooner. So kind of that Spooner, Hayward, Webster, Siren belt is kind of where I do a lot of my fishing. And I like to target some of the bigger lakes in those areas. So, ever tried trolling with an electric motor with stick baits at night over main lake reefs? Nice. You're getting them right now. That's good. I don't know if we could get them that shallow. Maybe we could right now. It's definitely possible. The water temps have come down a bit, so they may start coming back up on those reefs at night. But yeah, it works well. It's a good technique for sure. Hey, Greg, thanks. Appreciate it. That's super cool. Thanks for joining. Greg's a good buddy of mine. Known him for a long time. Been fishing with Greg for way longer than I've been doing YouTube. And we're good friends, so good to see him on here. Josh says your fall fishing tips in reverse to spring fishing. Light bulb moment. Yeah, it's so true. Like, in spring, you're looking for those nice sunny days and that really warm weather, and trying to get that, that warm weather bite firing fish up. But in the fall, it's the exact opposite. Just the worse, the nastier, the colder the weather, the more the fish start cranking. And it's just in reverse, just like you said. Thoughts on the threat of an Asian carp invasion? I don't know. It seems to me like Asian carp, they're in river systems and they're already there, but I don't think they do well in like still water environments. I haven't heard of them really taking over any lakes or flowages that don't have flowing water. So I'm not sure if they would actually do well here. other than the rivers. So they're already in the rivers, and they're definitely invasive. And if they're there, I'm gonna go after them. If they start coming into this area, I'm gonna get the old bow out and start whacking them again. I haven't done any bow fishing for a while, so I've still got my gear, but it's been a minute since I've been out shooting carp. But it is a blast, and once my kid's a little older, I think we'll start doing it again because, man, we used to have a lot of fun bow fishing. I did have a little bit of a change of heart on bow fishing because, we used to go out and we used to shoot everything legal to shoot. We used to shoot all kinds of suckers and red horse and bowfin, and I've kind of changed my opinion on those fish. Like those are all native fish. They're non-invasive. They were here before a lot of these other fish like brown trout or anything else, got introduced. And they're actually more native than a lot of the fish we actually target. So we don't shoot those anymore. European carp, yeah, they're invasive. They're naturalized, but they're more of a threat to the waterway than anything. So we do still shoot carp, but I try and leave the red horse and the suckers and stuff alone. So, any tips on where to find big largemouth bass in northern Wisconsin? Dude, that's a sore subject. There's not many around. That's one of the fisheries that's really been taking a hit up here in northern Wisconsin due to overpopulation. It's tough to find even a 4-pound largemouth up here anymore. There's very few lakes where you can go and catch anything bigger than about a 3-pounder. Like even all the tournaments that have been held lately, the winning bags are 3-pounders. Very rarely does anyone even weigh in a kicker anymore. And it's really kind of a bummer. I mean, we used to be able to go out and catch a 5-pounder every summer, at least one, oftentimes multiple, sometimes 2 in the same day. We'd catch 6-pounders once in a while, lots of 4s, and you just can't do it anymore. There's very few places where there's not an overpopulation of largemouth up here anymore. So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I don't have much advice for you there. I mean, I've caught a couple big ones last winter. I think the biggest one I've caught this summer is probably 4.5. And most of them, like the tournament we won a couple weeks ago, we didn't have anything over 3.2, and we won the tournament. So, Clam is going to make more predators. Yep, they're going to make more than they made last year. They're still going to sell out, I think, fairly quickly, but there is going to be more this year. And also, the predator rods are coming out this year. So we worked with Clam a little bit on R&D on some rods designed for the predator tip-ups, and they're going to be really slick. I got to see the final product last fall, and they got them into production, and they're out now, and they're designed for the predator tip-up as to be used as automatic hook setting rods and or set line rods. So that is officially out now as of this last week, and that news can be shared. So that's what I'm telling you guys. But yeah, predator rods to go along with the predator tip-ups are officially going to be out. I don't know if you can purchase. I think they're either available for pre-purchase or they're actually available now. So yeah, go check them out because they're going to be built for the predators, and they will work. Will the 13 fishing line of lures be rebranded by Rapala? I know 13 fishing has 50% of the bag salted, 50% unsalted formula. So I don't know if 13 fishing is going to be rebranded, but I do know Rapala owns 13 fishing now. They've been kind of grouped together. So 13 fishing, VMC, Rapala, Storm, Blue Fox, excuse me, those are all the same company now. And actually, I can probably I'll tell you guys right now, I actually am going to be working with Rapala and VMC in 2025. So that's kind of news that I haven't shared yet, but I've been talking to Dan Quinn at Rapala here for the last month, and that's going to be a big partnership for the upcoming year. And so I've been actually starting to gather some footage of some Rapala baits for next year already, and that's in the works. So that's pretty exciting partnership. Thanks for the congrats on 50K. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're learning some stuff. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. The Predators are awesome. Good. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, we designed them to work. I mean, like, we just saw so many things that we could improve on what was out there, and to make it more streamlined, to make it more effective, make it more versatile, make it quicker to deploy and pack up, and make it tougher, all of those things. And we tried to put all of that into the design of the Predator tip up, and I feel like we improved on a lot of those areas for what was available. And man, there was a lot of good feedback last year on Predator tip up. And like I said, they sold out in like a month. So, you know, a lot of people who wanted them actually weren't able to get them last year. So pay attention when they come out on sale. I'll definitely kind of let you guys know when they're officially able to order them. But you can pre-order them right now, I believe, on the Clam website. But I'll let you guys know when they come out actually on sale, for sale, so you can get them right away. But yeah, I actually got some videos that I've filmed last winter that I did not edit and I did not upload, that I'm going to be putting out pre-ice season on the Predator tip up. And I filmed an episode of TV with I'm not going to say who yet, but there's an episode coming out this winter on one of the major TV shows that's going to be all about the Predator tip up as well. So, have you ever tried for flatheads on the Mississippi? No, but that is on my list. Believe me, I've caught flatheads, but nothing big. So I have caught them before, but not really targeted a big one, and that is something I want to do for sure. I caught a walleye on a jitterbug once. What's your most unexpected catch like that when targeting other species? Dang. Well, I did catch a walleye on what was it? It was some sort of topwater on a river. I've caught two of them like that, actually. I think it was, man, I don't remember what bait it was. It might have been a spook, actually. That one surprised the heck out of me for sure. But probably the biggest surprise was I caught a giant bowfin, like the biggest one I've ever seen, on a 6-inch paddle tail swim bait one time. And I thought it was a big pike, because those bowfin take pretty insane runs. And that one took me by surprise when I landed it. It was a giant. I wish I would have weighed it, because I think it was over 10 pounds. I mean, it was huge. What's my go-to lure in 10 to 12 foot weeds for bass? 10 to 12 foot weeds. It depends on if I'm in thick weeds or if I'm on the edge, but if I can find a good weed edge in 10 to 12 feet, man, I crush them finesse fishing like drop shot on the edge of the weeds. And yeah, you get snagged once in a while, but if you can drop shot like a robo worm or something like that on the edge of a weed line, I've caught so many big. We've won tournaments doing that. But otherwise, if I'm fishing in the weeds, like in thick weeds, I'd say probably some sort of craw bait, Texas rigged. Otherwise, if I can fish a weed bed that has room over the top of it, I love swimming big swim baits over the top of weeds. That's one of my favorite ways to catch big bass. And I've caught big smallmouth, I've caught big largemouth, and I've caught big pike, all doing that. Especially this time of year, if you can find one of those deeper weed beds that's got room like 6 feet over the top with no weeds, and you can slow roll one on like a 3/4 or 1 ounce jig head right above those weed tops, that can be really, really effective. And when they hit that thing, they crush it. I mean, there's nothing like a bass hitting a big swim bait. They don't mess around. There's no nibbling. It's an absolute murder. So caught some big walleyes doing that too, actually. What's my PB bass? Well, largemouth, I've got a 6-pound 2-ouncer. Smallmouth, I just caught it last fall actually, and it was 5. What was it? 5.6. I think it was 5.6. Weight, as far as weight goes. Length, I've got several 21.5-inch smallies, but I still haven't gotten over a 22 on a smallmouth. But those are my 2 best bass. And those are both inland Wisconsin fish too, not Great Lakes fish. Do you use spoons sometimes, such as Cyclops? Yes, I will use spoons primarily for trout, though. I don't use them a lot for, other than winter. I do a ton of jigging spoon fishing in the wintertime, ice fishing. But in open water, I don't use spoons a ton. I maybe should, but that's not something that I'm super confident in. I've got a lot of other methods that would work in the same conditions that I tend to go to. So I don't use them a ton in open water, but once in a while I'll trout fish with them, but that's about it. They work great for lake trout, on Lake Superior or whatever. You can cast, you can jig with them. So we'll use them for Lakers once in a while. And then trolling spoons, obviously. Can you fish walleye or perch at dusk into the night like you would during the day? Walleye action can be great at dusk. It's one of the best times to catch walleyes in a lot of water bodies, especially around here where they're super pressured and we have super clear water. Sometimes that's the only time you can catch walleyes, especially in the winter. Sometimes there's a 30-minute bite window right at sunset, and that's all you're going to get. And if you catch a walleye outside of that during the day, it's almost a fluke. But you can catch several, 3 or 4 during that little bite window a lot of times. Some lakes, doesn't seem to matter. They'll bite all day, they'll bite all night. But perch are much more of a daytime fish. It's very rare to catch big perch during the nighttime. Their vision is not good at night. They're basically dormant at night. And that's why walleyes have such an easy time eating them at night, because they don't see the walleyes coming. So that's kind of the difference between walleye and perch. And walleyes, I've caught a lot of walleyes after dark, in the middle of the night. They're extremely good night feeders. Is there still a frog bite? Yes. There'll be a frog bite until the pads sink, basically, in the fall. And in August and September can be some of the best topwater fishing of the whole year, as long as those pads stay up and you can still get a frog over the top of them. So oh yeah, if you got a reservoir by you that's supposedly good for 14 to 16-inch perch, I'd get out there early in the morning. Early morning to mid-morning has always been my best for perch, and then afternoon's usually good again. But not really in the dark. Yeah, I'd fish them after that sun comes up. And those are big perch. If you can catch 14 to 16s, that's crazy big. Ever take a day and just fish old school tackle? I haven't done it for a while. I mean, I did it a lot as a kid because that's all we had. But I've thought about it, and once I get more time, I think I'll probably make a video like that where I just take just the bare essentials, old school, out on the ice probably, and just fish without any electronics, just the bare bones, and just film it and see how it goes. That'd be kind of cool. I definitely do fish old school style once in a while. Maybe not tackle wise, but sometimes I do just turn off the electronics and just cast. There's just something about it that I enjoy. And then same with trout fishing. Like, to me, that's kind of a throwback too. Like, you just wade in the river, throwing spinners or throwing whatever paddle tails, and it's just you and the fish. There's no boat control, there's no electronics. It's just you, the river, and whatever fish you can find. And there's nothing more peaceful than trout fishing a stream, in my opinion. That's the ultimate one-on-one with the fish. St. Croix River is a dynamite smallie fishery as well as walleye. I miss the St. Croix. Yeah, and I don't fish it enough. I fish it a little bit on the upper stretches because I'm close to them, but I really need to get down on some of the lower stretches, and that's something next year, excuse me, that I'd like to do more, is hit some of the bigger river systems like the Mississippi, the St. Croix, because they're not super far, but they are excellent fisheries, and the variety in those river systems is just unmatched compared to what we have in the lakes around here. So I definitely would like to do that more next year, and I'm hoping I will have more time next year. So the Rush River. Yeah, lots of comments about the driftless. And we're kind of like, I can get to the north end of the driftless area within like an hour from my house, and I do fish it once in a while. I've not fished the Rush. I've got buddies who do. I know it's good. It's just a little bit of a drive for me, and I've got stuff closer that's pretty decent, so I tend to fish that more. But definitely know about it for sure. It's got some good fish in it. Excuse me. Let's see where we're at on the channel here. Yeah, we've got 50,010 subs now, so we've gained 13 since I started the live, and that's kind of how it's been going. Been growing really fast. The channel's been, it's been growing by about 4,000 subs a month here for the whole summer. So pretty crazy growth right now, and that's awesome. Hopefully it carries on into the ice season. What depth would you look for big bluegills right now on the big lakes around Hayward? 20-foot cribs. Like, if you can find a 20 to 30-foot crib or a really deep weed line, that's where the gills are going to be right now. Find them on deep structure, hard cover. They'll be there. Like, I almost guarantee you they'll be there. Lost my wedding ring in that river. That's funny. Well, I think I'm going to shut down the stream here pretty soon, guys. I'm actually thinking about heading to bed here. But again, I really appreciate the support. I appreciate the subs. Anytime you guys, like I mentioned, anytime you guys purchase anything through the links in my description, that's huge. Anytime you guys click a link and then buy anything in the next 24 hours from Amazon, I get a commission for all that. So that's huge. That helps me out a ton. Gives me more revenue to work with to keep making videos. So that's huge, and I appreciate any of you guys doing that as well. And just keep fishing, guys. Tell your friends about the channel as well, and give me ideas too. Like, I'm always looking for ideas, and the best way, again, to get those is to answer questions. So feel free to message me whenever, and I will be happy to respond. I respond to all my YouTube comments that come in. So any of those I'll make sure I respond to as well. So a good value on an ice combo. Yeah, I'm a St. Croix guy, so they do have a new ice combo this year. It's not super cheap, but it's also for a St. Croix very reasonable, and you could check that one out. Those have been well received, and I've heard a lot of good things about those combos. So I would definitely check those out because it's a good rod. Good rod, good reel, good setup. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks very much. And again, just super thankful to be here and seeing this big milestone take place on the channel and sharing it with you guys. So thanks again. And I will again try to do this more often. I'm going to try and do some more lives this winter, especially through the ice season. So we will be talking again. Thanks, guys. We will catch you later. Get hooked up.